Peace. This is Star with the Star Blooms. Um, y'all, my team know me, okay? It's the card at the bottom of the deck. Say, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Um, oh, shucks, girl. I was about to say something and I'm happy I ain't say it. Oh, God. Okay. Um, this message came to me at 6:26 today. And at first, it was basically a part of a conversation that I feel like we all get to be in when we decide to make changes within ourselves. Um, some of the things I be talking about to some people seem like are common sense. Some of the people who've been in therapy, who've dealt with certain layers of healing themselves, feel like a lot of this conversation is just conversation. Like you just be bored. This is not content. 10:10 and a second ago I seen 10:10 on my stove. Yeah. I've been privy to rates of misunderstandings that were purposely mistook, right? These are like positions that people chose to basically participate in without actually properly gaining understanding and clarity for themselves. It'd be like a lot of go with the flow mentality when a lot of stuff ain't flow. It'd be like go with the stagnancy. And that's okay. Spirit basically is making me aware that there is a lot of supreme altering that is coming into being. The change that comes that doesn't require a premise. What is a premise, y'all? A premise be the proposition previously provided or received before coming into a conclusion of something. So to say that the change that doesn't require a premise, meaning a lot of people are creating a rate within themselves that they don't have to go outside of themselves and ask permission to have. And they don't have to have people who are aware of the alteration or the altering that is coming from within you because it's personal. Um, it doesn't matter how people are willing to acknowledge 251. People are willing to acknowledge what it is that you've done. You can see it a lot of the times. We allow ourselves to be saddened because we believe that once we get to a rate of healing, y'all, this was me a couple years ago. I felt like once I got to a rate of healing, certain triggers that I could basically put myself back in the places that previously harmed me and have or create a space where they would have to harbor responsibility or take account for what I had basically went through. It took me a little bit more healing on a deeper layer for me to recognize that my healing was for me and that any layer of understanding that anybody else needed to come to any conclusion of would basically come from them going through their own journey. And I didn't have to hold their hand or make them feel comfortable with where I was going at with anything. And I didn't have to make them feel bad of what I was able to perceive by going within and getting the truth that I needed. A lot of the times they want us to feel like what is happening for us is happening to us. And that's a supreme disservice. It's a supreme disservice. Imagine like if the best thing that occurred to you was the loss of a relationship, but you allow the loss of the relationship to break you. You don't actually get to be in the awakening of the new stage, the new experience. You get stuck 434. You get stuck at this rate of constantly wanting to cry over what ifs when in reality to recognize that something is being altered is one to also be in the awareness that there was an identity that I want to say cloak and mistook. These words for some reason keep on popping up in my head. Mistake, mistook, like it was a mistake. I didn't understand. I didn't know. A lot of the times, the conversations that you begin to, who is talking to me? Okay. The conversations that you begin to perceive at a higher rate aren't going to have the lower densities added to it. What do I mean by that? When you go into a rate of basically wanting to deal with your maker, recognizing that you haven't been manufactured, right? You alter the state of what you are used to being in, because a lot of the things that were dense for you to basically make them matter are released in the light of you. Allow what is in alignment with what it is that you are moving towards to breathe to you a truth that could be aid to a foundation that can withstand any and every change that you will come into be, regardless of whatever rate of cycle that you will meet. Don't force a supreme altering to be a community thing that comes with the premise. A lot of times, especially when you come from certain, you know, religions, and you get out of a space where you aren't actually, associated, and you start to basically have those direct to source conversations. They want you to be at a rate to where there was a premise that gave you permission. There's a proof that was provided that you get to be this. A lot of the times there just be people's ego wanting to be, satiated on an external rate, allowing them to continue to be prideful in how they are, consciously and unconsciously creating more of a battle within themselves to have to overcome once they get to the rate of no return. A lot of the times you don't got to participate in a lot of things because they don't be meant for you. They be meant for the people who's actually circling it in whatever rate that they feel like they're circling it at. People be creating the vortex for themselves. Once you know that you're whole and you are well within your wholeness, you claim your protection, you call your energy back, you stop allowing your energy to be usurped, you stop participating in things that will have you in the low of you, trying to convince you that you don't get to show up in this heal rate because they want you to continue to communicate and connect with the things that aren't going to actually align you to what it is that you are moving towards. Don't, Spirit is just saying don't. Okay? Don't force it. Don't allow things that aren't of you to be the it that you position yourself for. Because a lot of the times we'll start going to this rate where we're wanting to call in things, and we're calling in things based off of an it versus actually going in with ourselves. What is it that you truly desire? Some of y'all be truly desiring like happiness. You ain't never known what it feel like to be happy, girl. You know, for me, it was joy. It was being able to play, being arrested at a certain rate in my youth development, mentally and emotionally, on so many rates. I stopped allowing myself to play. Now I want to learn how to be at this adult level so I could be able to live at a rate to where my baby gets to experience her childhood, and I don't rob her of what she could have based off of the fact that I'm in this rate of no, I get to alter at a supreme rate without the premise that is required by a lot of foolishness that it's not necessary anymore. Okay, I hope this message finds you well. You are going through a supreme altering. Who is it that you will connect with at this rate and align yourself to versus wanting to bring people into the fold of what it is that you've acquired for you? Peace.